Welcome to Following On as we look back at an intriguing second day of the third Test match between England and India at the home of cricket, Lords. In overview, India finished the day at 145 for 3, still trailing by 242, although things didn't go England's way initially as they resumed, hoping that Ben Stokes and Joe Root would be able to score most of the runs. As it was, they added just 5 apiece to their overnight scores, Joe Root completing his 8th century at Lords before Jasprit Bumrah, the great man, bowled him for 104, and Ben Stokes suffered a similar fate, bowled by Jasprit Bumrah for 44. But an 8th wicket stand of 84 and half-centuries between Jamie Smith and Bryden Carse helped England up to a total of 387. Smith made 51, continuing his glorious start to this series, and Carse at number 9, adding a career-best 56. Jasprit Bumrah was always touted for a place on the Lords Honours Board when he was saved for this Test match, having not played at Edgbaston, and he duly delivered with a brilliant 5 for 74. But England fought back, Jofra Archer completing a fairy tale return to Test cricket with a wicket with his 3rd ball and a brilliant delivery to get rid of the dangerous Yashasvi Jaiswal, caught at second slip by Harry Brook for 13. Karan Nair and Shubman Gill were dismissed as well. Karan Nair for 40 and Shubman Gill topping 600 aggregate for the series. Gentlemen, alongside me, Steve Harmison and Jeremy Coney. It has been another completely intriguing day. A bugbear that Jeremy and I share is that we were 15 overs short of the day's allocation. But Harmy, let's talk about the cricket first of all. Have you got one side ahead of the other at this stage after 2 days?
Yeah, England just. But I think it's very much 50-50. We're back-to-back Test matches, expecting one innings. But I'm thinking potentially a one innings game. One of the innings is going to go fast forward. A team normally gets bowled out in back-to-back Test matches pretty cheaply, and if England have to spend a lot of time in the field, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But England, for me, have got runs on the board, and I'm still thinking England are slightly ahead. It was brilliant by Bumrah this morning. Archer was, he was at his devastating best in that first spell. England, are there a bowling option? Are they just a bit short when it comes to the bowling? I thought they possibly looked a bowler short in a way of Woakes didn't look that effective. Bashir hasn't really, got any sort of purchase or spin on it, even though Woakes got that big wicket of Shubman Gill. I mean, Jamie Smith standing up to the stumps. So I think England are slightly ahead, and all the stories that we have mentioned. Keir Rowell, again, has just played a nice, quiet innings that's come underneath the radar.
Yeah, England ahead for me too because of the runs. They have them. Runs haven't come easily through this Test match, or certainly not as easily as they have in the first 2 matches in this series. It's going to take India some time, I would think, to get to that total, if they do. And that allows England, of course, time to try and pick up wickets as they go. Rahul, I see, is quite important to enable India to get close to that. I think he will be a protagonist for India if he can be. Yes, you've got people like Punt around who can play obviously little gems and anarchic innings, but at the same time Rahul to push right through for me. Change of ball, that seemed to be an issue today, certainly for India. It has been throughout the series a little bit, but certainly came to a head, I thought, this morning when after 10 overs they wanted another ball at that point. It was swinging at the time, and they decided they want to change it for something better after 10 overs. Yes, the umpires looked at it. It didn't go through the rings. That means they are obligated. At that point, the ball is misshapen. They've got to change it. And they didn't get a ball they liked. Well, that's the problem with asking for a new ball, isn't it? You can get a better one. You hope like hell it's a better one, but it wasn't. And they complained. They remonstrated with one umpire, then the other one. Gill didn't get anywhere. They asked to change it again after another 5 overs. They got that one as well.
I thought it was
extraordinary.
I thought it was embarrassing and selfish from Mohammad Siraj. I really do. I mean, I'm quite strong on this because Mohammad Siraj is having a little bit of a troubled time. He's watching Jasprit Bumrah swing the thing round corners, and he can't get it going. He did not once consult Jasprit Bumrah. He got to the top of his mark, looked at the ball, thought that's out of shape, threw it to the umpire and said, well, change that. Because he couldn't get anything out of it. But Jasprit Bumrah was getting a lot out of it. For me, that's a little bit of a selfish look at Mohammad Siraj. Because Mohammad Siraj reminded me, it's not working for me, so I'll get another one and get it to work. And now he's not only got rid of that ball, he's got rid of Jasprit Bumrah as well. Because Bumrah got a ball about 10 overs older than what it was, and that did very little. So I thought it was, I mean, what are you doing, India, by doing that? And then to knock on from that, I thought Shubman Gill's captaincy is an offer, because I didn't think he handled that situation very well. He then started making emotional decisions in that second sort of hour of that first session. All of a sudden, Jeremy Smith comes. Jeremy Smith was on about, I think he was on about 10 when Bryden Carse walked to the crease. Jasprit Bumrah's got 3 wickets. He's hooping the thing round corners. And Jeremy Smith's looking around and going, I've got 2 slips and then I've got to rest them on the boundary. So, again, emotional decision from Shubman Gill. The way that passage went, I think they've given England possibly 50 to 70 runs, too many, off that one ball change alone. And I'll come back to the very start. That's Mohammad Siraj. Didn't consult with the captain who was standing next to him. Didn't consult with his bowling partner. He just looked at the ball, thought, I'm not getting it to move. Threw it to Shafadullah and said, change that. And all of a sudden, because, like what Jeremy's saying, they're obliged to change it, they're not obliged to give you a better one.
Just to reiterate, what happened is, as Harmy says, Jasprit Bumrah is swinging the ball, having England in total trouble with the first 10 overs. There was a short ball, Jamie Smith's hit it into the stand. It's come back maybe damaged and obviously out of shape. And the umpires, as Jeremy says, were obligated to change the ball. And then they took out the best replica, or the one closest in condition to the ball that they were obliged to change. It did absolutely nothing. Do you think Shubman Gill's remonstrations with the umpire crossed the lines of, I don't know, decency and perhaps even a sanction from the match referee? He was very animated and I looked argumentative. I mean, it was a bad look, but what did the umpires do wrong?
The umpires did nothing wrong. He remonstrated, and I'm sure he'll get a slap on the wrist. Will he lose a few quid? I'm not so sure. Or he'll get fined, but he should get a slap on the wrist. I don't think he did too much wrong. Again, it was another emotional decision. But the look didn't. It didn't look very good. And that's the problem. The look bit that's the problem for the wider world. And that's the issue that Shubman might have in that situation. But I'll come back. He wasn't even consulted by his bowler. And he wasn't. And I wonder if that was another instance and part of the problem, that Shubman Gill was like frustrated. He wasn't just frustrated with the umpires, he was just frustrated with his dumb fast bowler who's giving the ball away after it's been bounced off the concrete. He bowled the ball that Jamie Smith hit into the stand. And now, the bravado and the arrogance and the selfishness of Mohammad Siraj come out in one moment. This ball's not working, get rid of it. Well, hold on, he just nearly took a hat-trick at the other end.
Yeah, and 102 runs in that first session. That's more than we've seen, really. And so I think Harmy, I'd have to agree with that they just lost control for a while. And it was emotional. I thought Carse played very well towards the end. He opened up and played a few strokes as well, but his bowling is strong, and now he's adding at number 9 to the Wokes, who didn't get any today, but that's very handy to have a number 9 like that who's capable of playing good on the forward defence and can play aggressively as well. So that was a bonus, I thought. And then, of course, Archer. I enjoyed that emotional part of the play at the start of the innings. Once the England innings had been completed, I think 380 odd was a decent total. It took them some time, and then to see Archer running in third ball, I thought he bowled a decent clip. I thought he was accurate in the sense that he was at off stump and just outside, and he bowled his bouncers to keep them honest and keep them back. And again, around about sort of a top high 80s into the 90s as well, which was good. Three spells. The first spell was his main one, 5 overs. And I thought, that England managed that quite nicely, actually. I don't know whether you and Harmy as a bowler, I think coming back after 4 years, 5 overs is probably enough. And then a 3 and then a 2. So I thought that was quite well handled by Stokes.
Yeah, I thought it was, and I think he only came back. He only bowled that extra one at the nursery end because Ben decided, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to go down the short ball route. He took him off. He was gone. While I was watching Ben, I was seeing if he was going to signal to him. I was on with John, I think, and you could see Ben going like signaling, just sort of that's it with a hand, and then. At the end of the next ball, he turned to Jofra, and if the finger came up one more, and he give it the old, the pepper stuff, and let's have a really go at him. And Ben was like thumbs up or thumbs down. And to be fair to Joff, I was watching him, and it was a thumbs up straight away, both thumbs up. He was ready to go. So you're right, the adrenaline, the emotion, and everything went with it. It's just that little bit later on tomorrow afternoon is where you might see, obviously, Jofra's body starting to slow down. But so pleased for him, so proud of him. Really, forget England, forget about the game situation, forget about anything else. I am over the moon to see the lad who has worked so hard to get over the injuries to run up third ball and nick somebody off. Somebody the class of Jaiswal, the way he's playing at this moment in time, and to see his emotion. Anybody that thinks that Jofra Archer didn't want to play a Test match cricket, he showed more emotion in that celebration on that third ball than he did for me in the World Cup final in the Super Over. Apologies, Jeremy, to bring that up, but he did. He was so fired up, so pumped up, and that's made my series. To see the big fella back, to see him pumped up like that, and to show the raw emotion after 3 balls. He wants to play Test cricket, and I'm really pleased to see him back.
And the crowd, it's always a very special occasion and a special atmosphere at Lord's, but the way they got behind him was really amazing. So I just wanted to ask you 2 more questions, or bring up 2 more points. KL Rahul asked Jofra Archer to remove something. We couldn't quite see what it was, but it was some medical strapping or something on his arm. It wasn't visible from the commentary box, but Rahul thought it was distracting him, which was curious. And we also have to mention the fact that Joe Root is not just amongst the most efficient run scorers in the history of Test cricket. He's also now the catchiest of all, with his 211th catch, surpassing Rahul Dravid.
It was a good cop too, wasn't it? I mean, they're always hard to your left at first slip when you've got a right-hander there, so it's the gap between yourself and the keeper. You're almost kind of waiting for the keeper to come across and use the right hand, the right glove, with the bigger hand, of course, with the glove on, and allow him to take that. And so often you go a little bit late, and he kind of half fell, half dived. And to get down, it was a low catch, wasn't it, if you remember, and it could easily have slipped out. We've seen other catchers do that for the Indians as well, but he held it nicely. There was a moment where they checked it. Had he used the ground to help him hold it? No. Off he went. So it was an important wicket. Nair at that stage was on about 40 and playing some quite nice drives. So that was good. It then brought Gill in, which was again important, because you need to get him in as early as possible while the ball is still new and try to get him out. And that's what they did, of course. And that was a very, very important part of that session as well. Nicking Wokes through to Smith standing up, perhaps run a little wider, maybe just moved. But the hands just moved a smidgen. It wasn't a big mistake, but you're gone because of it. So that was a key moment in the day for me as well.
And if you had some medical strapping on your arm and the batsman asked you to take it off because it was a distraction, was that legitimate?
Yeah, it is legitimate. The batter has got every right to do it. I'm just like looking at it and going thinking, we'll be here all day. We're going to be here all day anyway and not bowl very many overs. It was just another stoppage to the day that the game didn't need. It's interesting, the things that Jofra's got on his arm. You talked about Shubman Gill having the wrong T-shirt on. He's got these things on his arm, which I think are there to help his elbow. I think they are there to help his elbow. It's got a different logo on it, which I think he's covering it with his sleeve. But I'm not sure about the medical strapping. I know the same company, I think Ben Stokes was going to be wearing them, and I don't think he actually wore them in the end. I know, a lot of the guys wear like a tubey grip to try and protect their sort of elbows from diving. But this is, I think, these white sleeves that Jofra's got on, they're actually to help and enhance his elbow, and because that's where he's been injured. So if a batter decides enough's enough and I'm getting distracted, I don't think the bowler can really complain too much. They just have to find a different way of strapping the elbow.
Now, a very accomplished statistician friend of mine has worked out that at the current rate at which overrates are declining, they won't bowl any at all by 2051.
And we'll have everybody here at the ground, and they'll have paid £175 to watch nothing. It'll be excellent.
Michael Vaughan wants 4-day test matches.
Yeah, well, goodness. Well, we've had suspensions, of course, haven't we? We've had fines and we've had stop clocks. Nothing's working at the moment, folks, is it? So if I was paying $175, I'd actually feel, I'd like to see the overs, really, please, and the amount of cricket I pay for.
100% agree. I mean, look at it now. Look at it now. It's got the blinds up. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
it's another interruption.
It's another interruption, yeah. But no, I mean, why can't they just play the overs until you'll get? Honestly, you will. You'll get on with the game if the overs are played out. They're played out. They might be a bit tactical towards the end and say of darkness, but players will not want to be on that field for 7.5 hours. They're on the field long enough. I just wonder yesterday, right? Now I've seen it, I'd love to know this off Ben, whether you'll tell me the truth or not. I just wonder yesterday's groin injury. I just wonder if that was a distraction to try and stop the game because he was sick of India doing it. He came out this morning bowled, not a problem. And he came out and bowled, and he's not once in all the overs. What did he bowl? He bowled 6 overs. He's not once stretched his groin. He was out here at 9:30 this morning, bowling off a full run-up, herring in. I just wonder, he might tell me privately, but he won't tell me publicly, but I just wonder if he was playing games.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. Just playing games because he's had enough of India stopping the game.
Well, Shiv McGill had a 12 minutes
I know,
treatment
it's embarrassing.
break, and he's not even a bowler. He's just standing at cover.
Yeah, he's got 600 runs. He's had 600 runs, and he's had to get on the bus from London to Leeds and back. But still, I mean, game's gone mad.
And finally, it was Red for Ruth Day today in support of the Ruth Strauss Foundation. It's its 7th year. It's an absolutely wonderful charity which does incredibly important work for families, and particularly young children who've suffered bereavement and premature loss of a parent. So that explains Harmy's hat, and we've all got our rosettes on as well. If you feel obliged, if you feel compelled, all the information about this wonderful charity is online. You can make a donation there. But it's been a brilliant day's cricket once again. The Test match feels like it's getting moving now, and I think I feel more wickets coming on day 3.
I hope so. You got
Man
was
is
it 9?
excited.
Yeah,
this
man
is
is
great.
excited. Yeah. There's a bar in there. There's beer in there. Should we go and continue this conversation over a beer?
That's following on, and with me, Neil Manthorp, with Jeremy Coney and Steve Harmison. Look forward to your company once again for day 3. Action starts here in Lords, and we'll be online from 10:55 a.m.